Did the Detroit Lions make a mistake by trading away DeAndre Swift? Now, before you comment on this video, listen to the video. That's the problem with society nowadays. We live in a TikTok world. Nobody wants to listen and watch a whole video. If you get YouTube Premium, you can put me in the background. Okay, so listen to the video before you comment in the comment section. That's just a request. I would appreciate if you did that. Be swift about hearing. All right. Now, let's talk about DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has been a topic of conversation since he started playing and since week 2 of the Philadelphia Eagles season, right? And I've seen something online, and it kind of disgruntles me a little bit that people who call themselves Lions fans are saying that we made a mistake when it comes to DeAndre Swift. Now, if you are a casual fan, you might feel that way. If you are a 365, then you know that that is incorrect. We did the right thing by trading DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has always been talented. When he was in Georgia, one of the things about when he came out is his workload was not that heavy, right? You go to Kerryon Johnson, he was a workhorse. You go to DeAndre Swift, he didn't have as many carries as DeAndre had coming out of college. Then DeAndre Swift gets to the NFL, and I'll never forget his very first game. He dropped a game-winning touchdown from Matthew Stafford. Now, granted, that was the COVID year. Nobody was thinking right that year. Everybody was all over the place. But DeAndre Swift, in his 3 years in Detroit, never lived up to what we knew he could be. Now, let's fast forward. We trade him in the NFL draft, and then he goes out and he gets 1 carry for 3 yards or something like that, some busted statistic in game 1. And everybody and their mother was saying that we made the right move trading DeAndre Swift, blah, 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 all that. That's one thing about it. And that's why I'm so firm in my videos. Like, I care about what you guys think, but as a content creator who reaches thousands of people per day, I kind of can't care what you think, because if I dive too much in the comment section, I'll wither like a little child and disappear, right? I'm always going to defend my stand, whether you care or not, right? As Mike Tomlin says, I do not care, right? I make videos, you don't. That's just the bottom line. I know it sounds kind of bad, but you have to have a certain, but at least I'll tell you that, right? I'm not going to hide and act like it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you, and that's what you're going to get from me. What grinds my gears is when people talk about my team and they don't know. That's one of the reasons I kind of stay away from talking about the general NFL, because if I have a critical take about another person's team and I don't know the ins and out of that team, then they can quickly come and correct me. How can I say something when I know something on the surface level? So whatever you heard from me would be surface. But ever since the trade and week 2 and week 3, DeAndre Swift has had himself a game. As a matter of fact, he's on my fantasy team. I picked him on my fantasy team because I know what a healthy DeAndre Swift can do. But I'm not trying to put this guy on blast, but I'm just trying to bring this comment in for the sake of this video. Now, this is coming from Chris M. DFF Dynasty Fantasy Football. He is, as far as I know, not, I don't know, he's not doing anything. I don't know what he does and stuff like that. Okay, marketing manager and staff writer, DFF Fantasy. I've never heard of it before, but I'm sure it doesn't matter that I've never heard from it before. Says trading DeAndre Swift for peanuts and drafting a running back 12th overall is why the Lions, why organizations like the Lions stay like organizations like the Lions. Now, first of all, you don't know my football team. That's number one. Okay. So if you don't know my team, you have no business opening your mouth. Now, this is not an attack on Chris. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying you guys go over there and attack him. That's not what I'm saying. But when people talk about stuff they don't know, it irritates me. We traded DeAndre Swift for peanuts. DeAndre Swift was here for 3 seasons and he never got it together. Last year, he was on pace to be the leading rusher in the NFL. With DeAndre Swift, there's a caveat that everybody seems to forget about now that he's with the Philadelphia Eagles and he's balling out of control, is that he has to stay healthy. That has always been his thing. When he came out of college, one of the reasons I brought up him versus Kerryon Johnson is you were wondering if he had the durability. Okay. That is DeAndre Swift's number one problem. When he was here in Detroit, you could question his heart as well. If you remember watching Hard Knocks, Deuce Staley was getting on him. I remember specifically very early on in the season watching DeAndre run and then seeing him on the sidelines with Deuce Staley and how Deuce was laying into him. Okay, so we just could not get him to, I don't know if he didn't want to be here anymore, whatever the reason was. All right. But one thing we do know is we've always had confidence in DeAndre Swift. It is his ability to stay healthy that is an issue. Now, what I love about the NFL is when they either love you or they hate you, right? When you're doing well, they love you. When you're not, they hate you. And the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagle fan base will boo you after a 3 and out. So it's only a matter of time before they turn their back on DeAndre Swift. We just have to wait for him to get injured. Now, I don't want him to get injured. I'm not wishing injury upon any player because that's what evil people do. But it has been inevitable in his career thus far. Okay, let's look at his stats real quick. And this year, when y'all hear this, I mean, it's not really going to shock you because we knew what he could be. And I really didn't think I was going to talk about DeAndre Swift again. But in the 2023 NFL season, all right, he has played his career. He spent his first 3 years with the Detroit Lions. He's got 3 games. He has 45 carries for 308 yards, averaging 6.8 a carry with 1 touchdown. As you can see, he's never played a full season. He's never played a full season. Now, the wonderful thing about this whole graft is right now he is over halfway to his highest total ever in his career. And he's always had a solid offensive line. Penei Sewell was drafted here. Here we already had Ragnow and Decker. He's always had a solid offensive line. The issue is he missed 3 games here. He missed 3 games here. He missed 3 games here. All right. So he's already there. He's already halfway to his rushing total, his highest rushing total ever. All right. In 2021. And here's something that's fascinating. Last year, like I said before, DeAndre Swift was on pace to be the leading rusher in the NFL after 3 weeks. And Detroit Lions fans, because that's what I am, a actual Detroit Lions fan who knows my team, we were excited about the potential. I mean, I'll never forget game 1, game 2, game 3, when he fell on the ground, caught the pass from Jared Goff, got up, shook a man, and scored a touchdown on what was supposed to be a no gain. Like it wasn't supposed to turn into what it turned into. We've seen flashes of DeAndre Swift, and this right here is going to blow your mind like it blew mine. The number 2 running back right now is DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, he trails Christian McCaffrey by less than 50 yards, and he's above his next closest person by almost, under 50 yards. And he's had 15 less carries than Christian McCaffrey. So if you gave DeAndre Swift these carries, could he have more than, could he be the NFL leading rusher right now? He probably could. He probably could. Now, let me see something because I want to see if we go back to the regular season of 2022. All right. Where was he at? DeAndre Swift at the end of the 2022 season. He was 43rd in rushing. He played 14 games. He had 99 attempts and he had 542 yards. That kind of looks familiar, doesn't it? Doesn't that look familiar? It kind of does, because if we go here to DeAndre Swift's stats again, 542 yards, but then we have 521. We have 617. And right now we have 308. So what do you see? What do you see? For those Detroit Lions fans that feel like we made a mistake, okay? We didn't. DeAndre Swift has always been a strong starter. It's a long season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? The Detroit Lions, and when DeAndre Swift, if DeAndre Swift, because I don't want to do that, if DeAndre Swift gets hurt, Him coming back, that's going to be the difference. So everybody who thinks they know our team, you have no idea. Everybody that thinks that, oh, we made a mistake by trading DeAndre Swift, we did not. It's not how DeAndre Swift starts. It's never been that. It's always been how he finishes. So two things here. A, can he complete as a lead running back, which what he pretty much is now? He's been that way for 2 games. Can he complete a full season? That's number one. He has yet to do it. Also, when and if he gets hurt, will he come back the same? Last year when he got hurt, he missed 3 games. When he came back, something was missing. Something was missing. So every Philadelphia Eagle fan that comes across this team, don't act like you know DeAndre Swift, because you don't. Okay, he might be from there, but you don't know. You don't know. Now, hopefully for his sake, he can turn around and have a complete season, have over 1,000 yards rushing. The closest he's ever been is 617 yards. Okay, so stop with all this nonsense. DeAndre Swift has potential, and right now he's showing that potential, but it's a long season. It's early. It's early. When DeAndre Swift gets to game 7, game 8, game 9, then come and talk to me then. And then, and you know what? For the most, when all is said and done, maybe he has a resurgence. Good for him. Good for him. But his time in Detroit had come to an end. It had come to an end. It was over. It was over. Maybe he didn't want to be here. Maybe we didn't want him here. Obviously, our general manager said it was a mutual parting. It was best for both parties. All right. So everybody out there, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, and you know what? And I think that's why Stafford gets to me so much, because as a Detroit Lions fan, I am a Detroit Lions fan. My fandom stops with the Detroit Lions. I cannot trade it. I cannot share it. It is for the Detroit Lions, period. And if you play for them, then I root for you. If you don't, then that's where my loyalty ends. Do I want to see former Detroit Lions be successful? Take it or leave it. I mean, you know, you're talking to a different type of breed here. I'm not him. I am not him. Loyal to a fault, and I am not. Once you leave my team, that is the end of the road. There's a lot of Detroit Lions that I like. I'm going to tell you right now, if Jared Goff left this team, it would hurt me much more than Matthew Stafford leaving. It really would. If we come to that point where we don't extend him or re-sign him, it will be tough. It will be tough. I don't know if I want to see him succeed and all that other stuff. It's tough, man. I think that's what makes us fans as well. We get personally attached like we know these players, and we don't. They play for our team, right? So this video went a little long. I didn't mean to go this long, but this whole DeAndre Swift nonsense, and let me tell you something. You cannot call yourself a Detroit Lions fan and think we made a mistake by trading DeAndre Swift. You cannot do that. All right. So I'm going to ask you to leave your Detroit Lions card at the door. All right. And go root for the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. And thank you for watching to the end. If you watch to the end, put hashtag you can't win.